This is the Samsung A34, a mid-range smartphone costing £399, and it's one of many reasons why Samsung themselves are in a lot of trouble. But it's not from where you'd expect, it's actually from themselves. Normally when larger scale operators like Samsung are in trouble, it's because of things like Xiaomi or Google or Apple or OnePlus, etc, etc, etc. But no, it's actually to do with themselves, and we're going to get into that a bit later on in this review. But as of right now, what you actually get for your $399 when you buy a Samsung A34, well, in terms of the unboxing experience, you're going to get the phone, which is in this awesome silver cover, which looks very similar to the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus from way back when. Anyway, besides that, you're not going to get much else, as you've come to expect nowadays. You get your USB-C cable, your SIM ejector pin, some manuals, and the box itself. And that's it. That's the entire unboxing experience of the Samsung A34. So the A34 actually runs on Android 13, but will be upgradable in the future to Android 14. Now, in terms of the UI, it is One UI, as you'd expect, and it's fast becoming one of our favorite user interfaces when it comes to Android. Has way more about it than Oxygen OS used to have, which we were a big fan of. And now it's the same UI, and it will run the same as it does on our S23 Ultra, which we currently daily drive. And one of the main reasons for that is the A34 does have a 120 Hz refresh rate on the 6.6 inch AMOLED display, which pops and looks beautiful. In terms of video output, you do get a lovely option here. So as it is that AMOLED display, the colors are going to pop and be vibrant. In terms of lighting conditions outside, you get 1000 nits of brightness as well, but on video it does pop really nicely. So the quality of the display is very good. But in terms of the display itself and the front of the phone, now we have some challenges. So as you can see from the front of the display, it is a U-shaped sort of pill drop kind of thing, and that design unfortunately has been recycled for a very long time. As you can see by the images above, they'll show you that all the way back 3 or 4 versions of this phone, or this range of the A3 series I should say, so 32, 33, 34, which are on now, all suffer from that same pill drop. So in terms of design, it hasn't really evolved. And then when you pop it in your hands, you realize you do have a plastic device with pretty thick bezels. Now the build quality itself is plastic, so it is plastic all over, and it's reasonably well built. You're not going to expect it to be incredibly well built for this price point, but the design at the front is very disappointing, and maybe one of the reasons why it declined in sales for the Samsung A series. So here we go. Call of Duty on the Samsung A34. To give you an idea how this performs, I did like smash in my last multiplayer session, but to give you an idea, so as you can see, 1080p display, AMOLED, and then the game's running in the medium setting, so it's going to be running much better. You can run in high settings if you want to, but it's probably going to be a lot more demanding, so I probably wouldn't recommend that really. But yeah, I mean, it runs smooth. Graphically, obviously, it's a mobile game, so it's not going to be amazing. And then let's just chuck off a streak. Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, there you go. Just a little bit more. Yeah, so it just gives you an idea as to what the game looks like. So before we get to the nitty-gritty final bits about Samsung in general, we wanted to touch on a couple things. So let's talk about spec, full breakdown now. So on this A34, you get a 6.6-inch AMOLED display, 120Hz, 8GB of RAM. We have on this particular model 256GB of storage, MediaTek Dimensity 1080 processor, 5000 mAh battery, and IP67 rated. Now, on paper, that sounds incredible, great value for money, and performance and value for money wise, it is actually pretty good. And we haven't even mentioned things like security and software updates for your next 3 to 5 years, and you get 25-watt wired charging. But one of the issues we've realized, and we've come to realize over time, that we'll address about the decline in Samsung sales. I've got it on my phone because it's quite a lengthy one. So Samsung at present in the UK currently offers 11 A series device phones, 5 N series device phones, 2 Z series device phones, and 3 S series device phones. That, yes, is 21 total devices they sell right now in the UK, which, I've actually had to read this because there's so much of it, is price categorized starts from 150 all the way up to 1,800 pounds, which is your Fold. And this is one of our biggest issues with the Samsung A34. This device design style has not evolved, as you saw earlier, in a number of years. And now Samsung's at this point where they're making devices for the sake of making devices. So take the A34, 399. You guessed it, A54, 499. And as you progressively go up or down that ladder in pricing, there's a phone in every bracket, which sounds amazing. But if you're a consumer and you wanted to buy a phone and you look at the A34, you could pick an A32 or an A33, but why are you buying these? None of these excel in terms of development, in terms of technology, in terms of what Samsung can do. They're made and designed purely to fit a price bracket, and that's why they haven't evolved. If you look at the S series devices or the Z series devices, completely different ballgame, but they make up a small portion of the sales. The A series and the others are the larger portion of sales, and that's the biggest problem with Samsung at the moment. And they are actually due to go for a restructure, which means hopefully they'll trim down the number of devices and they'll trim down the cost of some of these devices. Because right now at $399, you can get a lot better for this than $399 in terms of build, function, and everything. Like a Pixel 6a is $349. It's a much better device than this. And it's a real shame. We're really hopeful in the future, hopefully by the end of this year, we'll see a dramatic turnaround in the number of devices that Samsung outputs. But the A34 for us is not something we would recommend. If you want to know what we do recommend, check the link below in our description for a number of reviews we've done that fit this price bracket or even cheaper. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, as always, we out.